Hey there, I'm Ian Douglas. I'm the author of the website techinterview.guide, and I'm here to help people with career advancement and interview preparation. My live stream on Twitch covers topics such as company research, how to build resumes and cover letters, applying for the job, getting through interviews, and what to do during negotiations. I've coached thousands and thousands of people over the years to get jobs at the biggest tech companies in the industry, and I'm here to help you too. The following episode is taken from a longer live stream event and may contain interactions with other people in chat. Check out the end of the episode for more information. Let's get to it. So we had a question in chat. I have a rather strange interview question. I did a paired programming interview on a language I was rusty on. I didn't feel great about it, but they asked me to do the interview again in a framework I am more comfortable with. Is this a good sign? Is this a common practice? A lot of companies want to see you do your best, but they also want to see how do you handle a challenge when you don't know something. I've seen companies do pair programming interviews where they specifically make you work in a technology that they know you don't know. Like they'll look at your resume, they'll look at your project background, they'll scour through your GitHub and see what kinds of languages you've used or not used, and they'll specifically have you pair program with somebody in a language that you do not know, because they just want you to describe at a high level, here's what I want you to go do. Like you're telling the other person's the one actually typing out the code, but they want you to describe to them, what are you going to do? And describe to them, like, what are the steps, what are the stages, how do you write a test, how do you write this bit of code or that bit of code, and they just want to hear that high level thinking. But over the course of the interview, what their hope is, and they don't tell you this, their hope is that, you know, after a little while you're like, hey, I think I kind of catch on to like how you're writing that syntax, do you mind if I try? And they want to see that you're at least willing to go in and work on that a little bit. In this case, it sounds like the company specifically asked you to work in something that you didn't know, whether it was a language or a framework or something like that. In this case, you started talking about a language and then later do it again in a framework that you knew. So it could be either. Like, for example, if you knew JavaScript but didn't know TypeScript and they asked you to do it in TypeScript and then later said, you know, hey, just come back and do it in regular React or something, which would be more vanilla JavaScript if that's how they were writing their code. Although, as I understand, you can do React with TypeScript as well. Having you come back and do another round in a technology that you do know is a sign that they like you as a candidate. To me, as a hiring manager, like I would call someone back and say, like, hey, let's give this person another shot. Let's actually see them play to their strength as opposed to play to something they don't know. I typically tell people, if you get some sort of take-home challenge or a take-home assignment or something like that, which is common in the tech industry these days, to say like, hey, go build this thing and go use this technology. If it's a technology that you don't know, I usually tell people, hit them back and say, hey, I don't know this technology, so I can take this one of two ways. I can show you what I can learn and submit it by the deadline, or I could do it in this other technology and show you what I'm capable of. And give them the choice then of, okay, yeah, you can do it in that other language or other framework, or no, we really want you to do it in that language and framework, so let's see how far you can get by a deadline. And then you get to show them, okay, I'm going to document what I learned, what I looked up, what my overall process was. I've seen people do like little walk through videos of like, this is what I learned and how, and just showing the process of this is how I went and learned the thing. That kind of stuff really stands out to a company too. And so I think if they're asking you to do something in a technology you don't know, you can sell it. You can tell them like, hey, I'm willing to learn this. I'm willing to jump in and dive in on this and show you what I'm capable of. But I'm going to succeed. I'm going to get farther if I can do it in this other thing. So the fact that they're asking you to come back, I think is a good sign. It means that they like you as a person. They just want to give you another shot in a technology that you do know. So they can see, okay, how quickly can you kind of reapply those ideas, or it'll probably be a different challenge, frankly. They're not going to have you come in and say, okay, we're going to redo that thing from last time, but now you can do the language or framework that you're familiar with. I mean, they might. If they do, you already know the problem space. You already kind of know how to solve it. Your subconscious is probably already kind of chewing on that a little bit anyway. But I think that they'll probably give you a different challenge. But allowing you to do it in a language or technology that you know will now allow them to assess your strength on what you know and how and so on, as opposed to like seeing what you can learn on the fly. Does that make sense? I'm happy to kind of follow along if you've got any other context that you want to give on that in chat. But those would be my initial thoughts. If they're calling you back, it's a good sign. It's always a good sign whenever they call you back, whether it's to do like part of an interview over again, or whether they're just moving you on to the next stage. If you get a call back, that's a very good sign. It means they like you. It means they see potential in you, that you fill a potential gap or a potential need on their team, and that's a good thing. Those are all good things. The fact that they want you to kind of redo a part of it, then that's also a good sign. It means you didn't pass, but the last segment, but they like you enough to give you another shot. So that's actually a very good sign that they're just not they don't know that technology, so we'll just pass on them as a candidate kind of outright. It means that you've kind of already won them over from a culture point of view and a personal point of view. They like you as a person. Now they just want to see what you're actually capable of using technologies that you do know. Because we can always teach you technologies, but the personal skills and the team skills and the communication skills, those are harder to teach. What we call soft skills, they're not really soft skills. They're actually just as necessary in the tech industry as being able to write software. So I think you've already won them over on that. So now they just want to see like how far you can get using technology that you are comfortable with, and go from there. Thanks for checking that out. I hope that you found it helpful. I always appreciate feedback, so please let me know what you think. I appreciate any subscriptions, so please tell your friends and colleagues about it as well. Check out the website techinterview.guide for more information about when I'm live streaming and all of my free content. Drop by a live stream anytime to ask questions or message me privately, whatever makes you most comfortable. See you next time.